Hello, today we are doing the drawing of the nose. Again, similar to the previous time we did the exercise, right? The nose actually have both type of view. If you look at here, this is the front view and this is the side view. We are going to do both again with the grid method and the basic shape. So the grid method will be here and the basic shape method will be here. Okay. As for the grid method, I'll be repeating the instructions. Let us first divide the thing in 3 parts horizontally first. You realize that when I draw the line is the same, okay, in both the picture. So that later when I'm trying to track, okay, it becomes easier for me to track, okay. Again, if you are you want to be very accurate, you can actually use ruler to measure and see how many cm you can divide it equally. Okay, but of course I'm just doing it roughly to just show you how it works. Okay, so you take a look here. This thing is around like 1/3. This thing is around half. So you go like half, you go like 1/3. Okay, and then we join the lines together to form this. Okay, to form this. And we do have a darker shading over here, in which I'm gonna draw out as well. Okay, so here, okay, this thing will actually reach here. If you realize that it's until here, right? So it's until here. So let's join, okay, and then we have the nose. Let's start from here. From here, half line, and it goes downwards to this area over here. Show about half the line over here. Then we check when it go upwards, it is around here. Can you see the lines where it go upwards? Yeah, so we try to follow. Okay, and then where does it join? It joins at 1/4. 1/4, and then start joining the nose. Alright, and we have this thing starting from the line below. It's starting, and where does it end? It ends at the middle part here. So what we're gonna do is just to join that together. Join it together, and where do we have this? We have this at the middle as well. Middle. Okay, so we start to join these towards this line over here. Okay. Okay. For the nose, the important part about it is actually the shading, because if you look at this, it will be very bland. So what you're gonna do is to really follow the curves and start to shade. You realize the middle eye, because it's protruding up, right? Therefore it will be definitely much more brighter. And then we have a middle tone over here at the side, okay, which I'm gonna do right now. Okay, followed by is, look at here, there's a bend, right? So when this thing is bending, it will be slightly darker. Alright, and here, because it's underneath, it will definitely be darker. Okay, all these parts are underneath the nose. Okay, it's the undercut of the nose. That's why it will be darker, because it curves in at this direction. Okay, it curves in at this direction. And if you realize the way I shade is really very much similar to the hatching technique. Okay, but then I'm shading it layer by layer. Layer by layer. So realize that, you know, the tonal value is there. Alright, but if you're not shading by layer, you realize that the toning will look a bit strange. Okay, so here is a bit darker because it's bent inside. Again, we have this even darker area over here that we're gonna shade. Alright, and then the below of nose definitely significantly darker. Alright, because it's at the underneath of the nose. Alright, then we have the slightly lighter a bit tone. Okay, so that it's not so sudden. And there you go. Okay, this is the grid method. And we have the basic shape method, in this case, in which the nose is divided into a few different kinds of parts. Okay, so I would like to say that you start off with a triangle over here. Okay, it looks like a triangle, and then we have a box. Alright, a box, followed by another triangle over here. and there will be a smaller box over here in which we are gonna join. Okay, so when we do this, very easy. After we have all this already, okay, and sorry, perhaps another triangle here first. So we start to join the line. Okay, we can divide and change the line, so it doesn't matter. So from this we transform. Okay, so from this line I join again, I join to the bottom, and then I join it up. Alright, then for this I start to join again as well, join again. Okay. And then the same thing goes, right? I have the shading, because the middle part is bright because it's protruding. I start to indicate out the areas I have to shade. The bottom of the nose is slightly darker. Okay, these areas will be significantly darker because why? It shows the internal of the nose. Alright, this part is underneath of the nose. Alright, and I have this part that's slightly sunken in. Alright, I start to shade the sides. Okay, darken it. I have this. Alright, and then I have this as well, which is slightly darker. So the middle part is actually a round shape, right? So the shading has to go together with the round shape as well, and then followed by the shading over here. And have the slightly darker tone over here to show the side of the nose. Okay, and the bottom of the nose, and then the shadow of the nose. Right. So after we do this, there we have it. Okay, we have both different kinds of nose. Of course, you realize that the shape does change a bit every time when we are using the basic shape, because the basic shape method allows you to draw a close proximity but not exact. Okay, but the grid method is more accurate. Alright, and we have the side view of the nose. Okay, I'll start off with the grid first. Okay, again we start to divide the picture into how many parts? 9 exact same parts. Alright, 9 exact same parts. And when we divide, of course we divide accordingly, and you try to make sure that the lines are straight so that we can actually see how it works. So you can see this small triangle over here that we're trying to represent, and we go downwards, and this thing actually joins here, which is near to the half line. Alright, and then we have a little nose at the side, and it actually curves downwards here to near to the half, but not the half. And then you have a straight line over here and it curves upwards. Alright, every time when you're not clear, you can just actually do this. You realize that, you see, it becomes much more easier breaking it down, okay, into smaller pieces. Right, and it actually from here, and it turns upwards, right? Okay, turn upwards, and then we have it curve back over here. Alright, and then the shading goes downwards. When drawing the sides, it's very important to actually notice there's the shadings. You realize the nose is actually coming up, so that this area is slightly darker. So if you are shading, straight away, definitely one side will be significantly darker. Okay, don't need to even think about it. Alright. And then in the shadows, definitely there will be a light that's coming out, right? You see that this is actually the source of light. It's coming from here. Therefore, here will cast a shadow. So when we do it, it's very easy. We just, according to the light, okay, we shade. Alright, it should be significantly darker. And this is the interior of the nose, definitely super dark, okay? And then we have a light shadow over here because the light is coming from the top, okay? And this is actually the muscle below, okay, which is supposed to be dark. Alright, okay, then we start shading because there's a band over here, so right, okay, and then the nose inside, like I said, even for this part, right, can you see that it's darker at the bottom? Why? Is because the nose is curving towards the bottom area, so the more the curves is, the darker it becomes. Alright, even for such areas, they are significantly darker. Okay, here as well. Okay, so we try to do that. And then the eye area always says it's a sunken in area, so we definitely have to darken it, right? Okay, so there you go. This is the side view of the nose. And if you are going for a basic shape, this basic shape is actually a triangle. Okay, triangle. Okay, that is like this, followed by, okay, maybe here is a circular shape. Okay, we have a circle over here and we have a circle over here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is really to join up the shape. Okay, to join up the shape over here, right? And then after that we have another circle from the inside, because the image is overlapping, right? So we realize that it's here. Okay, and then after again we start to shade the background, because one side is definitely significantly darker, right? And then we have the underside of the nose. Okay, underside of the nose that we have to shade. Okay, sorry, yeah, this circle is not big enough. Okay, and then we have the under of the nose. Right, and then we have this coming out the side of the face, right? Yeah, because of the curves. Right. Can you see this? Yeah, okay. And then the shadows. Okay, shadows. Okay, shadows. Significantly darker over here as well. So basically we just try to mend the parts. Okay, and then we have the eye again. We start shading. Okay, there you have it. Okay, but for this part, maybe just a bit more of the shadow that's coming out. Okay, and at this juncture, if you find that these lines are too distracting, just simply use the eraser to erase it. And you realize that when I'm drawing, of course I am drawing it very lightly. Okay, if I'm drawing it too dark, I can't erase it away. Okay, so there you have it. This is the drawing of the nose. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's look forward to another drawing session. Okay.